This is capturing audio, right?
Yeah.
Are you recording?
You may be ghost.
Check, check.
Okay, it's recorded.
ठीक है. It's recording.
Just stop recording.
Huh?
Hello.
It is recording.
Yeah, now stop recording. You want to test and see
Why?
if it's working or not, right?
Why stop recording?
Okay, then start. What's the issue? I don't understand.
Check.
Yeah, you just let her use the mic.
No, she doesn't want to use that.
Still use it. Experiment.
Okay.
And you?
I don't look good with it. That's my problem.
You won't be visible.
How am I supposed to wear again?
Yeah. If this goes over your ear.
This is definitely not the way I'm supposed to wear.
Just pull it. That is fine.
It's like it's working. No, anyways, you're recording.
This is not fitting.
Yes, see, as long as one side is on the side
I think I have a small head. It's. I look terrible.
It's working. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Is it working? I don't think I look good. Can I just have selfie? Can I see how I'm looking at least? Oh my god, I look terrible, but it's okay.
You also use the mic.
Uh,
This is not using the mic. This is using the laptop. So we'll have both the audios.
you're not allowed to talk.
You go. Right.
Yeah,
Recording is going on. We can start.
yeah. OBS is getting recorded.
Am I getting recorded? Thank you.
So the last talk for today is a student talk by Sunana. Sunana is a second year BSc student at CMI who likes to read about computational algebra and number theory, not geometry.
Oh, geometry.
She was an active Columbiad math enthusiast and was part of the EGMO 2023 team, where she received a silver medal. She is also EGMO World 2021, 2022, and 2023. In her free time, she likes discussing and teaching mathematics with other people. She also likes seeing jigsaw puzzles and numbers.
Yes, that's true.
She'll talk about not in derivative.
Yes.
Fine.
So, should I start?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, everyone. So, today I'm going to talk about knot invariance. Well, as Kritat said, pun intended. So, I'm actually going to talk about invariances which we see in knot theory. Right. So, if I ask you, why do you use invariances in like problem solving? Like if you're given a problem and you get the idea, oh, maybe I should try to find something is invariant. Why do you get that intuition? Do you have any answer? Yes. Yes. So in general, like we use invariances to see if a process is going to achieve this particular output. For example, okay, yeah, well, that's it. So what are invariants? During some kind of process, some object remains constant. What can be this object? Well, anything. Usually we go with, oh, sum of the terms or product of the terms. But there are much much more invariances, and they have a lot of geometric meaning too. So this is the first problem which I would like you guys to solve, just to get a feeling of what invariances are. Uh, it's a very simple problem, should not take more than a minute to solve. Uh, but we can start discussing once you have like gotten an idea. So the problem states that you have an 8 into 8 chessboard and it is colored the usual way. So, well, that's boring. And so you can take any row, column, or a 2 by 2 square, and you can reverse the color inside that particular region. Well, like switch black to white, white to black. Prove that it is impossible to end with 63 white and 1 black square. Did everyone get what the invariant is? What is the invariant? Mod? 2. 4 I don't think works. 4 also won't work. Oh, black minus white. Yeah, okay. Uh, so, yes, the thing was looking at the parity of uh, the black minus white or the number of white squares in a particular process. So how do you prove that this invariance is, well, invariant? So the way you prove is, I consider all possible process case, and then uh, this is invariant and it's still being invariant. It's still giving me the same thing I want. That's how you prove invariances. Uh, well, so so if I have like 3 white, this goes to 5 white. If I have 6 white, this goes to 2 white. 2 white remains 2 white. So every time the parity of the white squares, they are, well, not changing. So, mm, okay. So our invariant object here would be the parity of the number of white squares, and the starting condition is even, so it would have to be even. Ta-da. Okay, next. It's a Putnam problem. Should not be that hard to solve. Um, this has a different kind of invariance object being used. And the problem is like you have a given finite sequence, and your process is, if you have two indices j and k such that aj does not divide ak, then you can replace aj and ak with their GCD under LCM and prove that this process will eventually terminate. So you won't be able to find two indices j and k such that j is less than k and aj does not divide ak. Sum of the numbers? How would you how is that invariant? The product is invariant, but sure, like, how does it? Sum is monovariant, that's true. Yeah, but correct. So the ideas were either, well, the intended solution here was to consider the product, but sum is a monovariant and it has to terminate after some time, and when it terminates, it has to satisfy this condition. Because GCD of AJ comma AK and plus LCM AJ comma AK is always like greater than equal to AJ plus AK. So that's why. What will it be, a lower bound or an upper bound? Because okay, sum is product is constant, sum is going up. Yeah, It's invariant WRT product. Anyways, yeah, that would increase. Sorry, no, it would increase. Yeah. Um, and anyways, the intended solution was you work WRT a prime and then. Okay, so we all. So did everybody get what kind of invariances we usually see in competition math? It's kind of algebraic. Today we're going to focus more on the geometric aspect of invariances. And with this, yeah, we'll deal with knots. Knots. Okay. Um, but what are knots? Does anyone know what knots are? Not, not the undergraduates and one master. Mm. Oh, yeah, go ahead, Bhairav. I mean, okay, yeah, that's that's fine. Like, uh, I mean, in simple words, not is like a simple closed, not non-intersecting curve in 3D. So that's what I wrote, I think. Yeah, it has no thickness. That is something you have to remember. And it should not be intersecting. So like, like just like a rope, but glue. Yeah, like some string, some knots might like, and then, but the ends are glued together. So yeah. Mm, not projections. Uh, I don't know if this might be intuitive to you, but you know how we have a 3D object and we try to see it from different views, and that gives me a 2D object, right? So what we are doing is we are projecting that object. And similarly, I have a 3D object. I consider a plane, I project it, I get a 2D image. Note that this image, which I call not diagram, is not unique with respective to one knot. There can be multiple different looking knot diagrams. For example, today, source Wikipedia diagram was made by me, but like I have this particular knot, and from different perspective, it has different knot diagrams. Different as in different looking knot diagrams. Technically, they are equivalent, but they are supposed to be equivalent, but yeah. So, first question to you guys. If I have given you, two different looking knot diagrams, how would I show that they're actually projections of the same knot? For example, if I give you these two knot diagrams, how would you show that? I mean, they are supposed to be equivalent in some sense, but how would you show that they are, in fact, projections of the same knot? Yes, Bhairav. Oh, That that is technically what we do. We bash, bash, bash. It's an old reference. I don't think so. Malay is here.
The overlap part of the diagram. Which part comes above and which part comes
Yeah,
below.
so that we showed in the diagram, right?
So it's not a just a standard projection.
No, no, no. You have to take
That
that.
information is included in the
Yes,
projection.
it is. For example, if you look at this particular diagram, I can say that this strand is above than this particular strand. It has more information, but yes.
Can you promise that if two knots are equivalent, then they are projections of some
Uh, if two, I mean, I can't say two knots. I'm always talking about knot diagrams.
So if you're saying they are equivalent, they are projections of
Yeah, thank you. Topology, just in case people want to know what is topology, everybody says, oh, it's a very fancy subject. It's a, yeah. We just deal with the study of shapes. Here I have written a bit more in, yeah, okay, yeah. We deal with like geometric objects which are preserved under continuous deformation, which is technically called homotopy in topology term. Do not quote me. I'm not sure if Karnataki is watching and I'm wrong. I'm so sorry. He's my topology prof. Um, oh, also, so if I have two objects, which, I can, so by continuous deformation, I mean stretching, twisting, like twisting nicely, like nicely as in the deformation has to be continuous. So you have to be twisting nicely, uh, turn and everything, but do not glue. Like you can't cut and glue. But all these deformations, if one shape can be achieved uh, to the other shape like this, oh, scaling also, uh, then we say that these two objects are topologically indistinguishable. For example, you might have seen that uh, video of like the donut and the coffee mug. Yeah. Homeomorphism, we are never going to use it, so I don't particularly care about it. Yes.
in the first diagram of like first person, around the way back, the knot was like, I mean, it was just a loop. It was just a loop, but like one part is inside there. Like, it was just a closed loop. Not this one. Like some like just a random one.
Hmm.
So can you like take parts inside of each other?
Yeah. I mean, that's how, like, how do you tie your shoelace? You, like, put things, yeah. I mean, also here, also, like, things are going inside, right?
No, like I'm talking about like if you, for example, like suppose you like take one end of this thing out and like something, and eventually it becomes a closed loop. Those two are equivalent. It just becomes
It
a
has
closed
to
loop.
be a closed loop. Yes.
Yeah, but like in some cases it doesn't have to be equivalent to like just a circle.
Uh,
You mean like ends are open and closed?
I mean like okay, so
You're not going to untie all the knots.
I'm not untying it. What do you mean?
If you're saying it's not closed,
like, if I cut,
I'm not.
no, if I cut the knot, then it will become a single string.
Yeah, I'm not cutting it.
Oh, you're not cutting
Saying like
it. It
is
should
this
become.
equivalent to say just a circle, like a circle of like
It's homeomorphic.
I see.
this is homeomorphic.
Homeomorphic, not homotopic.
Not homotopic, but say I have something that's like, say I have something that when I just pull things out and everything, it just becomes a
Yeah,
circle.
yeah, that is, yeah, that is equivalent.
Like as knots, not as homotopic.
Yeah, yeah. Also, like, if you can, like, pull things out and if it becomes equivalent to a knot, then then it is homotopically equivalent, right, Surya?
No, but like as
Okay.
knots.
As knots, yes. Yeah, it's isotopic because I'm working with 2D. And okay, right, okay, I can move on. Thank you, Suchi. Mm, this is called the unknown. You can ask later. Uh, so as Krishav said, some knots can be untied by, just doing, not cutting, but just no other, like I can use every other action except cutting, and it can become an unknot, like this circle knot. But sometimes it it's not possible. For example, we get the trefoil. That's the name, trefoil. Uh, you know, yeah, this is how it looks. But it also looks like some other knot diagrams. Next we have this figure eight knot diagram. Okay, so I think this is like a decent introduction to knot theory. My question to you guys are now the mathematician. Assume knot theory has not been discovered fully yet. How would you like to define the conditions when two knot diagrams, I missed diagrams, are equivalent? Or even knots, but yes, Bhaira.
Knot diagram should be just a collection of single knot.
I mean, I might have this one particular knot, uska projection. I have this other particular knot, uska projection. You want to, how would you show that? Can you show these two projections are equivalent? And like, if I can show these two projections equivalent, will that imply? Okay, so how would you like to define two knots? Let's go with two knots being equivalent. Yes, Bhairav. I blacked out. What? Mm-hmm. Is this a question? What? Oh, no, I could not hear you properly. Sorry. Each point, like after each step. Uh, okay. So, homotopy, yes. But, okay, I'll accept more answers. Any more? Yeah, sort of. So, I'll I'll ask you this question. Do you think these two knots, not diagrams to be honest, but are they equivalent? Well, we haven't defined equivalence yet, but you guys think this is equivalent. Like it should be, because I can stretch and get this, right? I can. What about this? Do you think these two are, because I can twist it? And twist, I have said, is a continuous deformation, so they should be topologically same. Okay. Uh, what about this? Why? Yes. 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 But also like why do you think they're not same? Not same. Sorry? Yes, but how would you prove it? But um like intuitively you think, oh, I have the operation to just like pull, like stretch, twist and all, but wherever I do, I'm getting an English term not in this figure, but I'm not getting a not here. Like this is the intuition, and you want these two to be not equivalent, right? So this is how mathematicians who were older than you defined equivalences. Two knots are considered to be same or equivalent if you can deform, continuous deform, that is stretch, pull, twist, slide, without breaking the knots. So you are not allowed to cut, you're not allowed to glue. You can do the continuous things. Questions? No, not. I'm not going to ask questions from you. The questions we want. How do we prove two knots are same? Second question, how do we prove that two knots are different? Um, yeah, but what if I have like a very huge knot and I have another huge knot? How do you, yeah, just, yeah, but what if, I mean, you would be living on this planet Earth for a finite amount of time, probably 100 years. But what if like every single process takes 1 second to you, and then that would still like be a lot more. Sorry? But unfortunately, I was ready for this question. It's it's in Sharpie. To whoever who knows, Sharpie hard. My bad. Sharpie hard. Complexity. Sorry. So uh, to to show to verify if two polynomials are okay. It's yeah. Two polynomials are so. Oh, not polynomials. Two knots are same or not. Why did I go with polynomials? I mean, that is also NP. Anyways, so yes, these are the things we want to deal with. Turns out the second question is actually much harder to do. And how do you do second question? By finding knot invariance. Just what Bhairav said. He. Oh, you just. A few terminologies which would intuitively make sense to you, but if it doesn't, I'll explain. The place where two pieces of the knot diagrams intersect, that's called the crossing. Strand, well, you have the diagrams, right? So one particular piece of the diagram, continuous, no holes. Yeah, so I have this particular knot diagram, and the colored pieces are my strands. They are, each color is like, each color represents a different strand. Is everyone fine with the terminology? This is a crossing, this is a crossing, this is a crossing, this is a crossing. Where is it not changing? You, yeah, it's specific to the knot diagram. I for a moment thought I was going to ask her, are you colorblind? But then I did. Huh, sorry? This is a knot? Why do you think so? Yeah. Yes. It is an unknot. You can try to see why. And it's an unknot. This thing, yeah, circle wala. A link is a collection of multiple knots. The Olympic circle thing, that's a link. There. Yeah. Yeah, fine. Uh, this is a two link. I mean, you can't like separate them, right? Like intuitively, that's. Huh? Yeah, they're not. They're of multiple knots. Okay, some random definition, we don't care about it. So this thing is important, and I think he is a German person. So I do not know how to pronounce the name, so I wrote the pronunciation here. It's Raide Master. That's how the name is pronounced. So this guy worked a lot in knot theory, and he gave this theorem, which is literally your intuition, but proved. he states that if you can, do the continuous, whatever you guys have in mind, like stretch, twist, slide. If you can show that two diagrams are, same WRTD's pulls and all, then the the knots are the projections. No, to what? Oh, I mean, uh, yeah. So the transformations I'm gonna define is with respective to this theorem, but the transformations are exactly what you. Also, the equivalence was like the. It's not the. Yeah, it comes after this. I think I ordered it wrong, but yeah.
Doesn't it say that the knot, like the knot is equivalent to the knot?
No, the two projections are of the same knot.
Yeah, like if the projections are the same, then the knots are.
Yeah.
Yes, so
Uh, there are three, so they have the transformations which you can do. They have actually categorized into three types. The first is this twist. You can twist, and this is a continuous deformation. Poke, so if you have like two strands, you can chish. I can do this and I can invert, so I can undo the thing. And if I have like, yeah, I can slide. Like it her, I just bought it her pay. Yeah, these are like transformations which I can undo also. So these are valid transformation. Turns out if using these three transformations, if you can show that the diagrams are equivalent, then you have the same knot. We come to our first invariant, linking numbers, not Linkin Park. It's a band. Anyways, uh, what is linking number? Does anyone know? So nobody. So sorry for oriented rings. Oh, links. It has to be links. Uh, so nobody. I wanted to make a joke with not, but I can't. You do not know. I no I all math people. We're gonna do math. So first we orient the knot, like the link. So how do we orient? We just give like directions. Is everyone fine with the orientation thing? We just give orientations to different knots. And if so now then I consider the knot diagram, just the projection. And there in the crossing, I give a plus or a minus one. How do I give the plus or a minus one? Well, if I have my directions and, if I have this kind of knot, then I give this kind of crossing, then I give plus one. If I have this kind of crossing, then I give minus one. All the other crossings are technically a rotation, or like it's a rotation of these two configurations. So is everyone fine with how we're giving a plus one and a minus one? Yeah, this is not diagram specific. Okay. Example, I have this diagram, and this particular crossing is minus one, and this particular crossing is also minus one. Why? You can see. So for um, my this arrow is down, and it's pointing this way and it's going this way. Do you have a question? Oh, okay. So is everyone fine with why this is -1? This is also -1. The linking numbers, they are invariant under the moves I defined. The, what's the name called? Rider master. I don't want to pronounce it wrong, that's why. Yeah, how do I show it? How do I show that this is an invariant under some process which I defined? Yeah. So note that I'm defining this particular crossing between the two knots, right? I'm not defining it WRT, the same knot. So the first move, which I had defined here, I am not going to give any number to it because it's not it's not a crossing between two distinct knots, right? So I do not care about the first type, like, so it will come under that. So uh, when I do the rider master moves of second type, which is this, it will, this kind of move will give me like a +1, -1. And when I separate, it gets, uh, it balances out. So my total sum of all the numbers, that is invariant. Yeah, I did not claim that to be invariant, but this invariant is the sum of all the numbers which I have defined in every possible crossing between two distinct knots. So yeah, this is what I was saying. So here we get -1, here we get +1, and then here they just cancel out. So it's preserved under this move. The crossings also. So my rider master third type says I can slide it. So when I slide this, it gets -1 +1. It still remains -1 +1, even when I slide it. You can check it when you are free. I am pretty sure you just have to trust me here and move on. Thing is, I do all these moves, but and my sum of all the crossing numbers, like the numbers I have labeled in all the possible crossings, that is remaining invariant. That sum is being invariant under these moves. So if I have two different knot diagrams and I compute the like the sum of the plus minus ones in the different crossings, it has to be same. If they are different, then I know that these two are for sure not the same diagram. Like they're for sure projections of different knots. Next invariance is to just distinguish different knots. I mean, that particular invariance is used for like linked knots. This is like, what if I do not have linked knots? What if I have like just, it has only like one knot? Then we use tricolorability. So yes, a knot diagram is tricolorable if each of the strand or each of the arc can be colored with one of the three colors, such that in the diagram at least two colors are used, and at every crossing, we have defined what crossing is, all three colors are used or only one color is used. So a knot is not tricolorable because I can't color it with two colors, right? And trefoil is three colorable because at every crossing, like three colors are being used. So is everyone fine with the definition of tricolorable, right? So if I can show that tricolorability is an not diagram invariant, that is, if I do my Reidemeister moves and the the tricolorable is still preserved, then I will be able to show that unknot is not equal to trefoil.
You can use the more than three colors.
Mm, you can, yeah, but no, like tricolorable, you have to use like
Like I am talking about tricolorable and three color.
no, I'm
Are the same?
three colorable is for graph.
No, like okay, okay. I mean like the total thing. Like can I use four colors in
No,
total?
no, 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 no. Only three colors.
And like every knot, like every crossing across the all okay.
Or the crossing will have three different colors
Or one.
or just one color. So turns out tricolorability is an invariant, and the proof is, well, if I twist and turn my first first type is, well, you know, like the strands are of the same color. Uh, so this is invariant under D Reidemeister type 1. My type 2, if I have this kind of thing, then I can get this, and vice versa. So if it's tricolor here, I can color it this way. And my type 3 is, if I have some kind of this figure, if I slide, I still have my tricolorable thing being there. So it is an invariant, and it's it's a not diagram invariant. So we have proved that trefoil and what is it called, unknot, are two different projections. Yes, Bhairav. Can I get water? Sorry. I define tricolor. You have to use at least two colors in your knot diagram. I think Oh, I'm so sorry. Did I do something? Did I do something? Did I do? Thank you. I defined it. At least two colors are used in the diagram.
This proof that you presented, have you shown that the number of colors, like the total number of colors, can't go down to one?
To what? But I know I have shown that my trefoil is tricolorable, and I in any knot diagram of my unknot, I will I cannot even color it because by definition it needs to have uh, at least two colors. Um, yes. Okay, you need to prove that.
What I'm asking is that what you've shown is that locally the crossing condition is satisfied. Where you have at a crossing you have a single color, three colors. After move locally that is maintained at a given.
Yes.
Has it also shown that the total number of colors in your diagram as a whole
I mean, I'm using three colors. I'm in my whole
for
diagram.
example, if you were to undo move two, if
Which
you were to undo a poke, you would lose at least one color, right? And you lose one color there.
but my colors are already fixed from like before. So I can use only three colors. So if I am, for example, if I poke it, then it has, if I want to do a poke, it has to be this color.
So if you undo a poke, the pink is no longer there, right?
Yeah, the red is no longer there.
So in that sense, you have lost. I mean, at least for one of the
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Like, like the way you lose, yeah, exactly what he said. So the way you lose is like You can lose 3 to 2, but how can you lose 2 to 1? Because the only way I'm losing is move 2. Do you have any question? Mm-hmm. It can be the same color. I have the choice to, but also they can't be of, like, it can't be different color because the crossing needs to have 3 distinct colors to be tricolorable. So what I'm showing right now is if I have a tricolorable object, I consider any deformation, it still is going to remain tricolorable. This cannot have 2 colors or even 3 colors being used here because I know that this is a strand from a tricolorable object. So if I have to deform and get this, it has to use the same color. So I'm not choosing the colors. The colors are chosen before, provided we know if the knot diagrams are, if the knot diagram is tricolorable. Right. You slide it more so that they're not collinear, so that they do not pass through the same point. But if you like slide it more, it will not be collinear, so I don't have to deal with that case. Like, I don't think so they particularly care about it because I can always slide more so that it does not remain collinear, right? So it's not a particular. Sorry? I'll add like 3 lines passing through the same point. Yeah, I'll add it in. So yeah. So yeah, trefoil is different than a knot. Quick question. Do you think these two are equivalent? Oh, okay. How would you prove that, Bhairav? Yeah. Ari? Oh, we are taking a poll. So how many people think these two are equivalent? So okay, I'll count till 10. 10. Yeah, sure. You take as much time as you want. I think it's much better if you like work it out. But Bhairav, if you think it is true, Ari, it's how will you use linked numbers? It's not even linked. Sorry? Yeah, sure. 1 minute. This. I mean, like, uh, you do remember the crossing either has to have 3 different. I mean, yeah, like. Oh, so I also need to care about this. So yeah, I did not deal with all particular case, but it's yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not Yeah, I just give an example, but you have to deal with the other case also. But it's literally almost same. It's the same.
Taking more dreams and then more
Like it's it's all it's literally the same. That's why I did not write. So
so like purple, purple, purple. Well, the green
okay,
and
let's just
what's the purple, purple, purple? It can't become purple, purple green. Green purple. No, it can. Yeah, it's one. No, but
okay. So Abel, what are you saying? Abel, which color are you coloring? So are you fine with the proof, or should I work out here? Which yeah, you can prove it yourself. The point is, it's correct. Like it's just case bash, yeah, and there are only finitely many things. So then how would you possibly slide it? But how would you slide it then?
Like for example, if what is this and this next?
So
It's not like this, but there's something, some other.
so are you like
But you only care about
ऐसा? So okay, that's a valid question. If this is and you're saying this, are you saying this? Like they're not intersecting here, but I can still slide it. This is a type tree move. Do you agree? And if this is like if this is a valid coloring, I can simply just copy the coloring here and it works. हाँ तो सब कुछ trivial बोल दे ठीक है कोई बात नहीं this is type 3 this is sliding yeah okay okay so everybody is fine with the proof are these two equivalent no no okay wait we don't have time I think we should start wrapping up they're not okay so finally can I take a poll okay how many people think they are equivalent okay yeah fair that's a good guess I don't know um, okay अरे खत्म नहीं हो like अरे no but it is just it's very fun you can do it like खुद कर सकते हो मतलब सुनो everybody like it's not even that hard to think you just have to like visualize it unless you have the same thing which Evan has right but they are equivalent it's a fun exercise to do fine I'll ask another one oh do you want to know the no wait do you but how can you assign direction it's one knot huh okay after you assign directions what do you do
So like, if they're in opposite stuff, if you have to go like anti-clockwise rather than clockwise,
I mean, huh. So for this, like you just stretch, twist, you get it. I took this out and kept it here. Like it's backwards, right? Like look at this thing. I can pull this and keep it here. Do you guys agree with this? You can also do that. Yeah, that's fine. And then here, this I just pushed essay, and then hmm? Yeah, it is a trefoil. I just made it better over here. This is a, so did you guys follow how I made them same? No? Yes? Sorry? This one. You did not understand. Yeah, you can. Yes, you can. Yeah. So like, huh? Oh, this time I pushed it essay. Like I took the loop, like I took the strand, I made it small, and I made it essay. Yeah. Next question. Do you think these two are equivalent? Hmm? Yeah. So there are two knots in each diagram. It's okay. You can try it. You trust Shresht. Huh? They're equal. I don't trust anyone's calculation. This one. So you're saying essay. And then essay. Huh, this becomes like a it becomes like a two different knots. That's what you're like two separate knots. Then they are linked, so it has to be like two different, right? Huh? Yeah. Yes. To the yeah. To but then what about this? Yes. This has linking number 4, this has linking number 0. You can compute the linking numbers, and yeah, we used that invariance also. There are more invariances. The first is called unknotting number. It's the minimum. It is. So if they were the diagrams of, if they were equivalent, then they have to have same. But here there is a crossing. I No, I don't think so. So I put this and I put. I cannot wait. No, I cannot pull this down because I have this. It's inside. It's not over. That's why you can't pull this down. Hmm? Thank you, Solomon. Well, thank you, Vera. So there are more invariances. It's called the unknotting number. The minimum number of crossings we need to exchange. Sorry, yeah, to get a knot. I'll give you an example. I have a trefoil. So if I exchange, that is, I bring this front, it becomes an unknot. So the unknotting number for trefoil is 1. It can't be 0 because we know they are not equal. It's like trefoil and unknot are not same. So, huh? We did tricolorable, no? So they are not same. So yeah. And now we come to this thing which actually gives you whether they are equivalent or not. So this is called bracket polynomial. I'm working with polynomial with variables a and a inverse. A and a inverse, you treat them as variables. However, a into a inverse is 1. Okay, yeah. So the things you have to keep in mind. So, are you guys familiar with like multivariable polynomials? Yeah, treat them as multivariable polynomials. However, there's one more thing, which is like a into a inverse is 1. Fine? Yeah. It's a commuted. A is a variable. We're not in Haskell. Like what? What do you mean? What type variable? It's 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 a variable. We do not assign any value to it. We do not something. Like it can be a cow, it can be anything, but we haven't assigned it yet. We'll assign it in real numbers soon, but anyways, so it looks a bit crazy, but um it's not that hard. So I will define the bracket polynomial recursively. So whenever I have this kind of crossing, I will express it as uh, a knot with this crossing, like the bracket polynomial of this knot, plus A inverse of bracket polynomial of the knot having these two strands. Similarly for that, if I have a knot which is, union of an unknot and another knot, then it's going to be this thing multiplied with the bracket polynomial of this knot D. And my unknot is 1. Yes, go on. Ask the guy who made this. But the main reason is this is sort of going to be invariant under all the moves. So it's good. So here we have an example. I want to compute the bracket polynomial of trefoil. I'm not computing it fully, but I'm just giving you how it's. Sorry? Did you? So I'm computing the bracket polynomial of trefoil. I consider this knot, which is a crossing of this form, right? This knot is a crossing of this form. And so if I consider the crossing of this form, I get A into this thing and A inverse into this thing. And so if I replace this knot, this crossing, by, then I get this. Is everyone fine with how I'm replacing that crossing? I have this crossing. and I'm going to replace with this particular thing. So I'm reducing the crossing. And then A inverse into this kind of crossing, which gives you this. So is everyone able to follow how we are recursively doing this? So then again, you do more things, you get A square plus this is this. So turns out it can be shown that the Reidemeister move type 2 and type 3 is invariant, but type 1 is not invariant. As in, R1 does get changed. So what I defined is not invariant. But here's a simple example. I know I have this, consider a knot which has this kind of, you know, twist. Mm,
Wait, what did you say about you said like it's not invariant?
like R1 does not preserve this polynomial. Like the type 1 Reidemeister move does not preserve. So you do not get,
Oh, you can't modify the thing.
as in, the polynomial or the knot.
The not.
How can I modify? Like I'm,
I modifies it like you can't move it around.
you can, like, I mean,
But the R1
yeah, so it's not a well-defined polynomial is what I'm going to show right now. Like if it was a well-defined polynomial, then this should be well-defined, which implies I should get the same polynomial, but I'm not getting the same polynomial. Oh shit. Yeah. Sorry. So how should I salvage this situation? Uh, they introduced something called right. Is that how we pronounce the cheat? I think it's writ or right, but they introduced something called WD, and this new polynomial magically turns out to be invariant under all processes. So, so I am now giving you a solution. Oh, the WD, that's like you first make it oriented, then you find the number of positive, like the plus ones and the minus ones, and then you consider the difference. This is well defined because remember I said links are nice, like whenever I do, but now you have to take care more here. Like you are now defining it for each crossing. So yeah, now you define this particular polynomial, you substitute t with you substitute a as t to the power minus 1 by 4. This is a polynomial in t, like it's a polynomial in like z adjoint t to the power minus 1 by 4 comma t to the power 1 by 4, right? So this is a polynomial. So what you have to do is, I have this particular diagram, I have this other particular diagram. How do I verify if they are the projections of the same knot? You compute the bracket polynomial, we call it Jones polynomial. You compute the Jones polynomial of this diagram, and you just have to compare. So that is the algorithm.
so there's no like actually distinct way where you can actually modify the not itself with the R1.
Yeah, like this,
You can't do the R1 move still.
you can do like this polynomial is invariant under R1 also.
Like the two, yeah.
This polynomial is not invariant, but this one is. So
How do you get the different on this part? Like, it is invariant, but how do you know if both of them are equal, like they can be raised to the
uh, if they are equal, they'll have the same polynomial. And huh. Oh, but you have to also work out. Uh, I haven't shown that each knot has a unique polynomial associated to it. If each knot has a unique polynomial associated to it, then it's an if and only if. However, if two knots are different, then you can verify using this polynomial. Because both can satisfy tricolorability, both can satisfy linking numbers, some other. So this is like another invariant to see if it's yes, Bhaira. I am not particularly sure. However, this question is actually open. Uh, I'm if is there a knot which has Jones polynomial 1? Is there a knot which has Jones polynomial, the thing I defined here, 1? He asked, are there two knots which have the same Jones polynomial? This is like I'm asking you, अरे polynomial है तो constant है बाकी सब cancel हो गई.
Wait, so how do you know there's a polynomial? Like, there's a denominator there, right?
It cancels out.
Okay. And no, but we're substituting like t to the minus 1 by 4.
Yeah, so this is t to the power minus 1 by 2 should work.
I see, okay. So it does.
It does get cancelled. Like that's why they are also like dividing with this particular constant. Like this particular, yes.
Understand that invariant under the diagonal means that the Jones polynomial is invariant of the knot. So it's
Not diagram.
of a knot diagram. So two knot diagrams are given, the Jones polynomial is the same. Are you saying that given an equivalence of the knot diagrams, sorry, given a Jones polynomial, there is a unique knot of the
No, I'm not. No. I mean, if they are different, then the knots have to be. No. If the polynomial is no, I take. If the polynomial is different, then they have to be different. If they are different, it need not imply that they have different polynomials, because that is equivalent of saying that every particular knot has a unique Jones polynomial, which is not what I'm saying. Too many knots. Because not theory. Okay, sorry. For a particular knot, yes. And I showed that it's invariant. I did not show that. I claimed that it's invariant under R1, R2, R3. But how does that imply that if I have two, like, think about this way. If I have two knot diagrams which are both tricolorable, that does not imply that the two knot diagrams are the same.
You are defining the Jones polynomial
WRT or knot diagram.
for a knot diagram.
Yes.
So a knot diagram has a defined Jones polynomial.
Yes.
So that's not unique.
Sorry. It's like there might be two distinct knot diagrams which have the same Jones polynomial.
That might be fine. No, I'm not asking that. I'm asking ki a knot
Has only one. Yeah. Oh, when I say unique, I meant like unique WRT all the, like I'm saying the map is not injective. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, got it. That, so yeah, computing Jones polynomial, some special cases aren't sharply hard. Sharply is because it's not a decision problem, it's a compute this. So it's not a, it lies in the function problem class, hence it's in sharp. And it's hard because every sharp P, uh, every problem in sharp P class reduces to this problem, and in polynomial time. So the point is uh, to to explain how hard is sharp P, every problem in NP is in sharp P. So like it's hard. And like sharp P is hard and sharp P hard is hard. Point is it's very hard to compute. So we need to find some other technique. Uh, yes.
Yeah, so
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
so like understand you said that verifying that two nodes are the same is easier than verifying that they're different.
Actually, I should have written verifying they're different is.
Yeah, because
Yeah, 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 yeah.
because there's no method to
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I meant one is harder. I don't know why I wrote two is harder. I meant verifying easier is much harder. Verifying.
Proving one is different is it harder?
Like, okay, I mean, they both have their own difficulties, right? Like, if I have a very small knot diagram, then just what Shreya said, I can bash. But even if I have like a very small diagram, what if my bashing is not sufficient enough, right? So,
which is harder, which is like supposedly.
I mean, so the thing I referred said second is harder. The showing they're different is harder. But I'm not sure how reasonable the source is. I mean, it's an MIT document. Think it should be decent, but yeah. Any other question?
These are all methods to show they're different.
Yes.
So, but showing two nodes are different and verifying two nodes are different are two different.
Uh, so if I have, uh, I mean, how would you verify two knots are different? Like you need to give, what do we say? Certificate, and that certificate will be your invariant. Did I say something wrong? As in like the thing which is given to you. Yeah, like this is how I'm showing my sort of my proof. So you just have to like
That's why verifying you meant that you know it is like those two are different and you need to verify like check that you don't want to
how do I know these two are different? Like how do I actually mathematically know?
no I thought when you know it
Like if I know it, then that implies I have a proof to it. That implies I have an invariant or some sort of similar. Yeah.
then the both are like then showing it and verifying it are equivalent.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. Yes. Sorry.
How do we describe knots in a computer? Like numbers we represent in binary.
I
How would
I
you?
I I was not sure, but it's almost they input it as graph. Like that's one way of inputting. The other way is also just like depending on uh, the thing which Kuminia asked us to do. Sage. Yeah. Sage does a lot of things, so I think Sage also has the not way. It's a computing thing. Yeah. Yes. I do not know. You can, but it might be true. I think uh, there should be two knots which have the same, but I'm not sure.
It's from a practical perspective. If you want to evaluate whether it was similar, case Jones is
No, I mean I at least haven't seen a proof which says it's an injective map. Like if I have two different. Yeah. Any other question? Yes. Uh, I mean, the tricolorability and link are like the only easy. Like the other is like the unknowing number which I mentioned. Another is crossing numbers, which I did not mention, but like if I have a knot diagram, then you just compute the number of crossings with respective to like the crossings as in the minimum possible crossings of that knot diagram, like of the knot and all possible similar knot diagrams. So if I have two, if I mean, I'm considering the minimum crossing number with respective to all possible equivalent knot diagrams, then if I know that if my crossing numbers are different, then they are from different knots. That's one way. There are, yeah, I haven't read about anything else. Any other question? Oh, okay. You just wanted to end there. Sorry? You, why did you start clapping then? It's so, I mean, it was actually started by physicists. So I was reading it actually. So it started when, so there was one time when physicists believed like the atom model is like sort of this. Do not quote me. I actually read. I'm not sure of the sources, but they believed the atom structure might be this way. So they started studying, and then they realized, oh, it's not. They moved on, and the mathematicians just saw, oh, it's actually a very pretty object. Let me play with it, and they started playing. Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh yeah, yeah. It is important in DNA. I did study that. Yeah, I did study.
There's one more physics experiment. Like if you put a string in box and if you rotate the box in direction, so how many knots forms are like related to the string? So like in speed and like if you control the step, it's related to how many knots? Yeah. If you just
Same number of strings.
more like what wire? If you just put in your back, if you like take it out, there are so many knots.
No, but we entered it without it cutting. So
Yeah, but still,
we need to
they
tie
are
it.
not.
Oh, but you care about the number of crossings formed. But it's relevant in DNA. It's okay.
Yeah, but we do not do that. Like, how do you take it?
Yes. Yeah.
Like, it's study on something of that I heard.
Huh, but it has some relevance.
Like physically, if you
Yes. All possible knots? No, no, no. I mean, you can bash, but I am pretty sure there are infinitely many. Like links is like like what if there are um like links like I I I I I do not know the answer, but I feel there are infinite many, so you can't enumerate because it depends on the number of links also, right? Um, so linking number is defined for multiple links. Hmm. Oh, there are infinitely many. Are there infinitely many simple knots? It's not proved, right? As in, like, knots made with one particular string.
Recording stopped.
Yeah, I think there are infinitely. There's something called